A Muncie woman charged on false informing after accusing a Muncie police officer of excessive force. The timeline and details in moments.
Plus, construction on Bracken Library continues. What caused the shutdown and what changes are coming?
We had some of the coolest air of the season in the last couple of days, but we do have a warm-up coming up. I have all those details in my forecast coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Alex Almanza.
And I'm Anna Chalker.
We begin tonight. A Muncie woman who accused a Muncie police officer of battery was charged today with 2 counts of false informing.
Court documents show 67-year-old Ruby Goodman accused Muncie Police Department of Jacob Massoff of excessive use of force during her arrest in July of this year. Today, prosecuting attorney Eric Hoffman released a statement that he had charged Goodman with the 2 counts of false informing.
That's right. Hoffman did note on the statement that this filing of criminal charges is an allegation. Goodman is also facing formal charges in battery against a public safety official, a level 6 felony, and resisting law enforcement. Goodman's initial hearing is set for October 20th. An update to a story NewsLink brought you last week on Bracken Library. Some repairs have been made on the outside and will eventually work its way inside into the basement to repair a few damages. The fire protection line that serves the building on the north side, 16 feet below the surface, was wearing a hole in the bottom of the pipe and eventually dug all the way through. It started to blast water into the building and up to the surface. Associate Vice President for Facilities Planning and Management James Lowe mentions repairs have been made to the fire line, but construction will continue to fix the other damages.
We're now making repairs to the concrete above, and we're making repairs to the mechanic room floor inside the building. So that's what we're in process of doing.
Lowe expects repairs to be finished around winter break.
Golf's USA's Fishers location owes over $18,000 in overtime pay to workers. That's according to a release today from the U.S. Department of Labor. The release says the money is owed to 255 workers, specifically those who are managers. The company failed to pay them overtime after working over 40 hours in a work week. As a company, $750,000 in back wages are due. A corporate-wide investigation by the department's Wage and Hour Division found the company in violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act. Wage and Hour Southwest Regional Administrator Betty Campbell says, quote, employers cannot evade federal overtime requirements by simply giving an employee a management title. This case should serve as a clear warning and prompt other employers to review their pay practices. Workers can call the Wage and Hour Division confidentiality with questions.
Back here at home, the Community Foundation of Muncie and Delaware County has awarded $84,348 to 9 nonprofit organizations from the Maxsound Foundation Fund. 2 organizations in Muncie made it on that list. The Boys and Girls Club of Muncie was given $10,000 to support a part-time counselor. And Greater Muncie, Indiana Habitat for Humanity was given $20,000 to rebuild a home for a local veteran.
Muncie's Second Harvest Food Bank is in need of volunteers. It serves 8 counties and offers programs for youth and seniors. Distribution takes place in local schools and tailgates. Second Harvest promotes at nearby schools as well. Due to COVID, they had a volunteer shortage. Now they depend on Ball State students to fulfill that need.
Probably 80% of our volunteers are Ball State students here in-house. And I've been trying to encourage as many Ball State students as possible to go to the tailgates across the 8 counties, especially if they live in those counties. Makes it a lot easier. So we rely heavily on Ball State students.
Students can sign up through NewsLink.
A group of Muncie community members rolled up their sleeves and took to the water this weekend for the annual White River cleanup, but this year was a little more emotional than the rest. NewsLink Indiana's Avery Johnson was able to speak with some of the volunteers to find out why this year's cleanup had a deeper meaning.
The White River Cleanup is an annual volunteer effort that spans across a 14-mile radius, running straight through the heart of Muncie. Every year, members join together to collect trash along the river.
There's really been a push over the course of the last several decades to really be proactive and very intentional about cleaning the river, really that effort being led by the Muncie Sanitary District.
This year, however, there was a special meaning behind the pink shirts worn on the back of several volunteers. The inspiration? A woman by the name of Toni Cecil.
She, was really passionate about keeping that clean and making that a nice place for her kids and her grandkids to grow up. And so then in 2006, she was working as the building commissioner for the town of Yorktown, and that was something that she had saw a need for.
She started the White River cleanup nearly 15 years ago. Not only was Toni an active environmentalist, but she was a 2-time breast cancer survivor, enduring a total of 7 surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation. But that did not stop her from making an impact.
Pink really became a symbol to her of just strength and power and, being able to fight. And I think that's one of the things that I think about when I think about Mom. Even if Mom wasn't technically the most powerful person in the room, she was the most powerful person in the room.
Her passing in mid-April left shattered hearts across the community. A tree and plaque now resides in Westside Park in remembrance of her legacy. A courageous woman with a strong work ethic will forever leave behind an everlasting impact. In Muncie, Avery Johnson, NewsLink, Indiana.
Well, a true gem to the Muncie community. Very inspiring. Well, this week's Frigidaire is definitely a small price to pay for next week's warm temperatures. NewsLink Indiana weather forecaster Ryan Crump is in the studio. He's going to give us a preview of those warm-ups. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how you doing, Alex? Oh, man, yes, we have had some of the coolest air of the season these past couple of days. However, we do have a warm-up coming up. I have all that coming up in my full forecast in just a few minutes. But here, Indianapolis is sitting at 55 degrees. Muncie's at 52 degrees. Kokomo's already in the 40s at 49 degrees at this hour. Now, as you look at the next couple hours coming up, we are already seeing some gradual clearing. So you're going to see those temperatures drop into the 40s as we go through the overnight hours. Now coming up, we are going to be tracking those skies clearing. We also going to see that we're going to have some showers on Saturday, and we got those 70s coming up next week. I have all those details coming up.
Ryan, thank you. A Connecticut police officer involved in a fatal crash last week in Las Vegas is out of jail. Robert Ferrero is accused of driving under the influence when he crashed his car, killing fellow New Haven police officer Joshua Castellano. His attorney says the two officers had a close relationship.
He lost a brother. He considered Josh. I mean, there's no good guys or bad guys here. It's not a bad guy thing. It's not a. It's a tragic situation.
Ferrero posted a $100,000 bail. He is allowed to travel back to Connecticut but must wear an alcohol and drug monitoring device. A status check hearing is scheduled for October 7th. And a Republican congresswoman is now reporting that she used campaign funds to pay for rent and utilities. This week, Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert updated a campaign finance report she filed earlier with the Federal Election Commission. Her amended report details 4 payments totaling in $6,650 to a man named Josh Paccio and says she has reimbursed the campaign. The address listed for those payments is a restaurant called Shooter's Grill in Rifle, Colorado, which Boebert owns. The filing statement, the payments were billed to the campaign in error. Boebert previously admitted using the campaign funds for personal expenses, but did not specify they were for rent and utilities. It is against the law to use campaign funds for personal use. The FEC says it is reviewing Boebert's amended report.
Authorities are several days into their search of a Southwest Florida reserve for the fiancé of Gabby Petito. Law enforcement has been actively looking for Brian Laundrie since Petito's remains were found Sunday in a Wyoming camping area. Her death has been ruled a homicide. Now the FBI is asking for the public to help find Laundrie.
Going to the public for help is usually a sign that you have a very challenging manhunt on your hands.
Not charged in the case, and he is not suspected of a crime. Tensions continue at the U.S.-Mexico border. Thousands of migrants remain in Texas and Mexico by the Rio Grande. 12 repatriation flights have left Texas, but nearly 5,000 migrants are still waiting to have their asylum requests processed. On the Mexican side, authorities say that they're working to stop illegal crossings. Border Patrol deployed local police and members of Mexico's National Migration Institute to the area. Biden's envoy to Haiti resigned today, citing, quote, inhumane deportation of Haitian immigrants from the border. And coming up, early signs of a severe flu reason from health experts, what precaution you should be taking.
And a product for infants is on recall. What parents need to know next.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Some people could be getting a COVID-19 booster pretty soon, but health experts say there's another vaccine people of all ages should consider, and that's the flu shot.
Pfizer's booster just got the FDA's emergency use authorization. Now a CDC panel will decide whether to recommend it.
I suspect what's going to happen is we'll continue to collect data on this cohort, 65 and over, and other people who are made eligible, and eventually the agency may walk down the authorization to younger age cohorts.
There are still millions who haven't gotten their first shot. The current pace of COVID-19 vaccinations is the slowest it's been since July. In the U.S. right now, on average, over 2,000 people are dying from COVID-19 every day.
That's right. The American College of Emergency Physicians says, quote, there are early signs that the coming flu season could be severe. And with so many hospitals struggling already, health experts are recommending flu vaccines just in case.
It's better to be prepared. And I think this is the part where humility really is a very important part of our science approach.
Hospital prices are on the rise during COVID-19. Nonprofit group Fair Health released its new analysis of insurance claims. It found the average bill for COVID patients in the hospital is about $75,000. That jumps tremendously if there are any complexities, such as cases that require the use of ventilators or days in an ICU. Those cases cost on average more than $300,000. Parents, listen up. A major recall is underway for 3 types of baby pillows from the Boppy Company. 8 infants died from suffocation between December 2015 and June 2020. In total, the recall covers roughly 3.3 million baby loungers. The specific products are the Boppy Original Newborn Loungers, Boppy Preferred Newborn Loungers, and Pottery Barn Kids Boppy Newborn Loungers. They were sold from January 2004 to September 2021. Consumers should immediately stop using them and reach out to the Boppy Company for a refund.
Target is scaling down its holiday hiring this year, and at the same time, the retail giant says it's giving more hours to existing workers as well as more pay and training. There are also plans to give current workers more scheduling flexibility. And with their new app, team members are allowed to choose and swap shifts as well as pick up extra hours as for holiday season training. For holiday season hiring, Target wants to bring on 100,000 workers. Compared to last year, it was 130,000, according to Bloomberg. And Americans are expected to spend a record $10 billion on Halloween this year. That's according to the National Retail Federation. The NRF says people will spend $2 billion more this year than 2020 on Halloween candy, decorations, and costumes for adults, kids, and even pets. Most of the spending, or over $3.3 billion of it, will go to costumes. The organization says it is the most consumers have spent on costumes since 2017. Now, I will totally be buying my Halloween wear coming up because these cold temperatures are getting me in the Halloween spirit. Ryan, will we be getting those Halloween temperatures coming up?
Well, no, we're actually going to get a warm-up coming up next week. I have all those details coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort
get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward
come together,
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back, everybody. This is weather forecaster Ryan Crump, and I'm here with your weather update again. We're going to take a look at the temperature for the high today. It was 64 degrees, which is well below average of 76 degrees, and back in 2017 was at 93 degrees. Well, we were nowhere close to that today. Take a look at these temperatures right now. 55 degrees in Indianapolis, 52 degrees in Muncie, 55 degrees right now in South Bend at this hour. Now, as you take a look at the temperatures for this time yesterday, well, yeah, we cooled off a little bit. Kokomo 6 degrees cooler, and Lafayette's at 4 degrees cooler from this time yesterday. But that's not about to last because the warm air is about to get ready to come into our area, which I'll get to in our 7-day forecast. But as we go through the next 8 hours, we will cool back down to the upper 40s as we go through the night tonight. As you take a look at this radar, you still see some showers coming up in here that was apparent to a low pressure system that's sitting around Michigan right now. This is the same low pressure system that hammered us with all that rain in the last couple of days. And speaking of which, you're going to see that these rainfall totals from the last couple of days was pretty impressive. Over 2 inches of rain back on Wednesday. And you see that we have some additional rain as well, even a little bit this morning, as you see right there. As you take a look at this precision cast, you're going to see that we have some rain coming into our area potentially on Saturday morning. But once that goes out, we're going to pretty much dry out, as we're going to see a warm-up coming to our area. Now, you take a look at tonight, you're going to see that we have skies clear with a low of 47 degrees, winds out of southwest at 15 miles an hour. As you take a look at, you wake up up tomorrow morning, you see our classmates going to class, you're going to see that we're going to be at 53 degrees, and we're going to warm up to about 72 degrees. So not a bad day after the last few days. So you could really use some dry weather right now. And you're going to see that in our 7-day forecast, the exception of Saturday. Saturday, we do have a bit of a disturbance at 68 degrees, but then we're going to start to warm up, as you see here, and go through next week. Mid to upper 70s do return into our area. This is such a relief because the last few days we have seen a whole lot of rain. It's over a couple inches of rain, and this is a transition season. We're going to be seeing these temperatures do this as we go through the fall season, as we go from summer to winter.
Oh yeah, definitely, of course. Thank you very much, Ryan.
And Zach, what can we be seeing in sports tonight?
High school football action back in town. We'll give you a look at this week's matchups, and Ball State women's basketball adding a familiar face to their coaching staff. Find out who next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Zach Greer with sports. Ball State soccer kicking off their MAC home opener earlier this evening against Eastern Michigan. The women persevering through double overtime, but were unable to score and ended the night 0-0. Tonight's matchup, however, was a step up from their last home game where they fell to the Butler Bulldogs 0-3. With plans to bounce back, the women looking to maintain control of the ball most of the night by landing 6 of their 14 shots on goal, 8 of which were in the second half. The Ball State soccer team unable to move past their defensive woes and were caught offside 6 times and fouled Eastern a whopping 15 times. Women's soccer record now stands at 2-4-1. At this point last season, the squad was 4-2-1. The Cardinals head out on Sunday to face against the 3-4 Central Michigan Chippewas, seeking to get back onto the track that they had going for them last season. Central Michigan coming into it without a single MAC win. Ball State will look to grab their first win in 2 weeks to a team coming off a loss to Miami of Ohio in their last matchup. Kicking it over to the court, the women's volleyball team looks to continue their terrific start this weekend. The Cardinals will be traveling to Kent State for 2 big-time matches this weekend. The matches will be kicking off the Mid-American Conference play for both teams. The Cardinals, who already have the best record in the MAC, sitting at 10-2, look to continue that against the Golden Flashes, who sit at 5-7. Kent State looks to get back in the win column after falling to Duquesne last week, while Ball State looks to win their 3rd in a row. Freshman setter Megan Wolowski has been a huge contribution, tallying up 469 assists, which ranks her 11th in the nation. Ball State and Kent State will play tomorrow at 6 p.m. and Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. at Kent State. Former Ball State women's basketball star Mariah Monaco returning to Muncie to take a role as an assistant coach for the Cardinals this week. Monaco played for Ball State from 2015 to 2018 and is joining her alma mater's coaching staff following her previous stint at Malone University in 2020. And it's Thursday, so you know what that means. Time to look at this weekend's local Friday night football action. Starting off with the hometown team, Muncie Central taking on the Harrison Raiders over in West Lafayette. The Bearcats coming off a tough loss to the Indianapolis Arsenal Tech Titans last week, falling 56-28. Their record drops to 1-4, but they'll look to bring one back into the win column tonight when they kick it off at 7. Moving to the 7:30 slate, Delta taking on Newcastle as they look to get back on track after dropping a high-stakes matchup against Mount Vernon. Yorktown squaring off with Shelbyville in an attempt to bounce back after losing to Newcastle the week before by 1 touchdown in the 28-21 loss. And finally, Monroe Central hosting Westdell tomorrow night. The Golden Bears avoiding their first loss, keeping their perfect season alive after shutting out South Adams 23-0. The Westdell Warriors remaining without a win after getting shut out to Shenandoah 42-0. They'll look to make a comeback in what has been a rocky season for them so far. And I tell you what, guys, another day, another Friday night football action. With about a month left of the season, I'm surprised on how the season is already almost over.
Right, and like you said, with those 4 or 5 weeks left in the season, it's going to be interesting to see how well these teams play and
yes,
how it all
very great.
plays out.
Thank you, Zach.
Well, up next, a photobomb like no other who joined in a photo after the break.
Plus, Netflix is bringing back a fan favorite. What series is back this year?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at our anchor picks. How about this for a photobomb? An alligator that looks like it's emerging from a street drain just as a police officer takes a selfie. It happened in Florida. The police department posted the image to its Facebook page along with a funny caption. It read, quote, "When you're just trying to take a normal sewer selfie and you get photobombed, at least he smiled."
Now, I'm smiling about this one because my favorite quarantine show is back. Tiger King is returning to Netflix. The second season of the docuseries has already been shot and is slated for release sometime this year. Netflix has not shared if any of the characters from the first season will be featured. Tiger King Murder, Mayhem, and Madness told the story of Joe Exotic, who kept some pretty big cats in Oklahoma, and his murder-for-hire plot against Carol Baskin, the owner of his rival facility. The docuseries created a lot of buzz for Netflix and made many of the cast members overnight celebrities. And Ryan, can we get one final look at that weather?
Yes, we We can certainly get a final look at the forecast. Yes, we have a disturbance on Saturday, but look at next week. We do have some 70, mid to upper 70s returning back into our area. I gotta love this. We had that little small taste of summer, but hey, winter, but summer's back.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for our sister show, Waking Up with Cardinal Weather.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night, everyone.